AfterBuzz TV, starting place to the likes of WWE female superstars Kathy Kelly, Sonya Deville, and Zelina Vega proudly presents Women's Wrestling Weekly, the world's first podcast and YouTube series dedicated exclusively to women's wrestling, featuring all the latest news as well as interviews with top superstars in the industry. And now, AfterBuzz TV's own gorgeous lady of wrestling, TK Trinidad.
You're watching Women's Wrestling Weekly, the #1 women's wrestling show on the planet. I might thank you, Tony. I think after season 2 we'll be in the universe for sure, because you know the aliens be hollering. My name is TK Trinidad, aka the Canadian Assassin, and he's back.
Yeah.
You know, repping. Y'all don't see the bottom half, but we'll get it. We'll get it in the Instagram stories. You'll see. Coco Cena, aka America's Chocolate Sweetheart, aka the one, the only Evan T. Mack is in the building.
What up, TK Trinidad? What's going on?
Oh, so he gets the okay. All right. Cool.
Boy, you see your boy got. Yeah, I mean, I got to end with the engineer, man. I get the DJs. You know what I mean?
I know, and DJ, Mr. Lover Boy himself, Tony B. Buzzin'.
That's my man.
Engineering, the producer. He makes it happen.
The GOAT, man.
Oh, can you guys hear me in there? All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome. Just making sure my levels are coming through correct, otherwise it's awkward.
DJ Tony Tom.
Today we have nothing. We always have an amazing show. We're going to do the Star of the Week news, but we have an amazing guest. She came into the studio. I saw her in Vegas, and it just dawned on me literally within like 12 hours. Like, I don't know if she's going to show up because she was putting in work. The one half of Killer Babes, Heather Monroe.
Hello.
Hi. Thank you so much for coming in. Appreciate it.
Glad to be here.
Seriously.
So we're gonna get some news before we get into all your business.
Okay.
So let's hit that news.
Women's
real quick.
Wrestling News.
All right, so listen, okay, trailer for like the biopic of Paige, man. I was like, yo, when I seen this, I heard about it, but then when I seen it as a trailer, like they usually don't make a movie about your life till you like in your 40s or something like that.
By The Rock.
Like, damn, you know what I mean? And one of my favorite writers too, Stephen Merchant, the guy that he's the half co-creator of the original Office. He's like a part of this project.
Really?
Yeah, he's one like helped write it. So I thought that was really cool that one of the famous British writers is like writing this story. So it's gonna have a real good context to it. So I just want to know your thoughts. If you've seen the trailer, what are your thoughts towards Paige's own biopic?
Ooh, I haven't seen this one. I showed a little bit from SmackDown.
This is like the trailer.
Oh, this is the official. Oh, I can't hear anything. Oh, there we go.
Oh wait, I know you. You're from that weird family, aren't you?
We're not weird.
We don't like wrestling.
How do you know if you've never been?
I've never had rectal bleeding before, but I'm pretty sure I'm not a fan of that.
How about I shove her head up your ass and then we can find out?
Oh,
But yeah, man. But I just want to know. I was like captivated by the trailer
as well. It looks good. We actually talked about Paige's mom. Did we talk about Paige's mom for Star of the Week?
Just a little bit, yeah.
Her story actually was like, while I was putting it together, her story is really interesting.
Yeah.
Her mom's story in general. So I think it's gonna be, even if you're not a wrestling fan, I think you will definitely enjoy this.
Just from like a casual viewer perspective.
Oh yeah, because I was actually there when they did that scene. Well, I was there that day when they did the scene with Rock. For I believe it was Raw.
Your boy Dwayne, were you swooning?
I mean, you know.
That's your boy.
He's hot. And Johnny agrees with me. So, yeah, I'm excited for it. I'm going to watch it for sure. Yeah.
Cool. I just wanted to get your thoughts.
Are you here for it, Heather?
Yeah, I was at the Raw that they filmed it at too.
Oh, nice.
And it was really interesting to see how they recreated the whole thing between AJ Lee and her. AJ Lee. And but I did watch this trailer today and I was like, I'm glad that The Rock is doing it, so it will probably be more authentic than if some random person decided to, I'm going to do a wrestling movie.
Yeah.
So I think that'll make it a little more, it'll be better for us actual wrestling fans that watch it too.
Yeah, it's like, you know, when you have something, you know, somebody, my thing is when you watch a movie and you'll have somebody like running, because I'm being a sprinter, I'm so technical. So it's just kind of like you have this person running their forms all off. I'm like, who is... There's nobody coaching, so I love this because obviously he has a production studio, but we all know The Rock from wrestling. So it's the best of both worlds.
And someone telling your story, you want an appropriate person telling your story. Yeah. I'm pretty sure they're comfortable with a guy because, well, all jokes aside, people know him as a movie star. He's a superstar, but he has wrestling pedigree though.
Yeah, and he has the budget.
Yeah,
so it's not gonna be one of those things like, oh, we're gonna do a movie and we're operating off of like $1,500.
True.
So you know, kudos to that.
All right, DJ. Oh, that's a different bell chime. Well, that's new. That's like more. That's a more
We
adorable.
upgrading
That's
here.
an
We
adult.
up- we up-
Hey, holla at your girl, man. Hit me with a new bell ring. But
Anything for you, Coco
I
Cino.
appreciate you. So okay, now it's like maybe Nia needs to chill out a little bit. This is what's going on right here. This is the word on the street. The word in the hoods and the various outlets is that Nia Jax is lost her mind. They put
Radio silent.
your boy be fighting crime, man.
Then he's
Listen.
saying I have to go on this street to make some money at like 7 o'clock.
Listen,
Alright.
somebody gotta keep the streets safe. But listen, but for real though, listen. So apparently I didn't know. I know that like Becky got like hit. I didn't know how bad she got hit.
Yeah,
You know
it was
what I mean?
pretty. I saw the screen capture because I think actually we were in Vegas, so that's what. So I saw the screen capture of it, and I just thought it was part of the thing. And then I think the next day I saw everything about Nia. So Nia just what it looked like was Becky was hitting Nia at the back of the head, right? And maybe she went a little too hard, and reflexes like, nah, trick. And
Hey, we don't deliver mail. Things happen. Is anyone gonna ask me about how my fist feels? See, I posted a picture.
well, here's the thing. It already happened. Mistakes happen,
Yeah.
and I think they need to use this for Nia's character.
Yeah, it's like, and then Becky goes, "You gave me your best sucker punch, but I got back up to destroy your whole roster. They won't let me fight, but I'll get back up from that too. It's what I do. So enjoy your one free shot because as bad as my memory is now, I haven't forgotten you, bitch." I was like, "Damn,
Yeah.
yeah, oh my God, shout out to Becky Lynch."
And I don't know that she's writing her
Regardless.
tweets, but the last 3 weeks of tweets,
Fire.
Rhonda, Seth, all of them have been straight. Yeah.
Yeah, so however they're getting their promo cut or whatever, it's coming off well. You know what I mean? Because Becky's like embracing the character that she is.
Oh, yeah.
And trust me, when it comes to like the fight game, like that, it's weird. Like getting hit in the face, like actually like builds your street cred.
And how she went about it. Like she went up the stairs and put the hands out like, what trick?
Yeah, the visual of her with blood running down her face, because I was
Yes.
in Vegas too, so
Yeah.
I didn't see what actually happened, but I was like, damn, they let her get color. Like, that's
Right.
crazy. Like, that's great because, like, she's fighting an actual fighter. Like,
Yeah.
that's great. And then I saw what happened. I was like, well, that still works though.
Absolutely.
Because
Seriously.
that made it, like,
Put it over
even
the top.
She committed to
bigger.
it.
Yeah.
Because she could have been like, my nose is broken, and then kind of figured out a way for them to get her somewhere else. But kudos to her.
Like I said, she's from that island that they don't play around there, man. Them Irish don't play. They just
Whoever it
don't.
is, or whoever gave her
Don't mess around.
the motivational speech, as far as, look, this is your chance by any means necessary, hooks or crooks, like just do it.
Yeah.
She's going all, like, even though she can't fight Survivor Series, she's going all in.
Absolutely.
So I'm for it.
Well, yeah, DJ. Okay, so all right, now this is something that's near and dear to your heart. Something that I know you care so much about. Something that I know that you have just looked forward to and you've longed for this moment. The Sasha Banks and Bailey feud. So tell me about it's finally about to go down.
You think so?
It's happening.
According to who?
I set it up.
I mean, my ears haven't been to the streets the last couple hours,
I'll
but
be fighting
according to who?
crime, man. You gotta put your ear to the ground. I
Okay.
just know how much you care about this feud so much.
I mean, I like how Alexa Bliss on Raw had them duke it out, and then she's like, "Yeah, you all weren't even my choice. Like, you're my puppet." Like, I like how what they're doing with her, or with that kind of scenario. But I'm over.
Yeah,
it.
it's one of those things. We talked about this a while ago. Like we feel they missed their moment with that.
So she's getting upset, and then they go at it. But then, like, you feel sorry for Bailey because she's like cute and cuddly. Like, it's just like
They still have not. They're still afraid to give women that real feud. That
yeah,
real feud.
Somebody
I'm talking
needs
about
to, like,
that.
flip the table like Teresa from New Jersey Housewives. Like,
Like,
you need to do something like that.
The Charlotte and Becky thing. That was what they used to do with grown men.
Right.
So that's why everyone's so like shocked. They go, "God, that's what it should be." Like, but they're two girls. Like, and they're beating each other up every week.
Right.
I'm like, but how did it feel? You felt something that
Right.
you didn't care why, but then Becky comes out and tells you why. You're like, this feels like old school wrestling when two men would do that.
Right.
They're still afraid to do that with them two for whatever reason.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't either.
Pass on it.
Yo, okay, yeah, DJ, appreciate you. So now this is kind of like this report. It was great. It was a great piece by Matthew Morgan. It was on Diva Dirt. It was just kind of giving like the state of like Impact and how it is, and saying how they had like minor setbacks, but at the same time, don't be so quick to discredit like how things are going for them, because they made some they made some great signs. Mia Yim, Brandy Rose departed from the company, but they have more people coming. Like Tessa Blanchard, Sue Young, and and the people
Tessa was a huge get.
right. So like everyone was so down on them. So this is just basically getting your thoughts on, the state of Impact and how you think they're going with their great story. You were in Vegas.
Yeah.
So talk to me about.
So yeah, for you guys who didn't watch Raw and SmackDown on AfterBuzz yesterday, Gabby, Lauren, and I went to Vegas for Impact on Monday. I think shot 3 or 4 days.
Yeah,
Was it
3 days.
3 days, and it was amazing. I watch Impact every week. The storylines in general, it's a smaller roster,
Right.
So, but the storylines, like everybody has some really great storylines. And they allowed video, so I can kind of tease a little bit. So we had like Tessa and Moose partnered up, and they went against Taya and Johnny, which was a great match. Like every match was really great. Friends of the show were on, so obviously Taya was on, Ruby was on.
Wow.
Raylan.
Thank you. Why? Ray Lynn was on, so they had some like really like Gail. We saw Gail Kim, so it was really like a great night. The storylines, like I said, are amazing, and they did a really great thing with Tessa, because if they didn't sign Tessa, WWE would have probably swooped her up.
Because.
Yeah. And that's why I was talking to somebody about that, because there's a lot of people on WWE's roster. I'm like, oh, they're getting ready to cut people. And they're like, no, because there's so many promotions now, and wrestling's becoming so hot that it's better for WWE to keep
So do you
them
think,
in the locker.
do you think that WWE, because they have like unlimited resources, do you think they're signing people even without even an intention of putting them over, just to keep them away?
Yeah, they missed
like old school stuff.
Yeah, they missed out. They didn't expect. I guess they didn't expect people to jump on Tessa, because Tessa's everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
She was on WoW. She's on Impact. I think she did something with her, and we actually played at her and Mercedes Martinez. So it's like she's everywhere. So they missed out, because if they signed her, then she couldn't be at any of those places.
Exactly.
So and I think Impact signed her to like a 7-year contract or something like
They
that.
were like, well, you ain't going nowhere.
Yes, but she can still go places.
But that's what makes Impact special when it comes to, like, we're in a different territory now. WWE is still WWE, but other promotions are carrying weight now. And especially with women, like women are able to, when you talk to these ladies, they're like, oh, I can go here, I can go here. I was in Japan, I was here, I was this, I was doing this, and then I came back to Impact.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. That's important to have. That freedom is important to people.
Yeah,
not a lot of people want their mainstay they want it to be WWE, but I think it's awesome that some women like that wiggle room.
Yeah, if they're booking enough.
Yes,
that's
if they're booking enough.
That's the thing, because it's like, again, you could speak to it. Would you rather to be with a company where like you're gonna get
this
like,
much money per year?
Yeah, the up thing is that you're gonna be working all the time every week.
Yeah,
but you're also gonna be working all the time, so you got 2 days off for 52 weeks. Or would you rather something where it's a little bit more freedom and you can accept bookings?
Yeah, I think that's the great thing right now about wrestling in general, is like you can literally do anything in wrestling now. You can make a living off of wrestling and not be a part of the WWE.
Mm-hmm.
And while it's like pretty much everyone's main goal in wrestling when they get into it is to be in the WWE, now they can look at other options and meet goals before making it there, or never make it there, and still feel like they've really had a successful career.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, because we talked about Madison Rain last week about her signing with ROH.
Right.
And, she did that whole run. Like, she was busy this year. She came back to Impact. Then she did Mae Young. Then she did ROH. So she's been everywhere, and she can still take care of her son. Is it son or daughter? Still take care of her child.
Yeah.
And still have somewhat of a life. Because I know a lot of folks in WWE is like, I'm still trying to coordinate to go hiking with Trinity, and like her schedule's so crazy.
So yeah, it is about a preference, about what are you willing to sacrifice and what's your life like. And if you're steady booking internationally or domestically, then it's not too bad. If you don't mind traveling,
you can make more too on the indies anymore. You really can.
Things change. Things have changed.
Yeah.
But that's it for me. Let's get to this interview. TK
Trinidad. That was quick.
Yeah, I know. You see, I'm trying to.
Oh, actually. Oh, you want to do a AfterBuzzers? Hey, AfterBuzzers.
I so got the paper.
But
listen.
You
I want. I know.
you
I should know this by heart by now.
Yes.
But listen, all the AfterBuzzers, please, man, we ask you to like and subscribe to everything that we do. We need y'all subscriptions, man, because if you the more content that you like, the more that you get on and watch our stuff, you can be a part of the AfterBuzz family, so to speak. You see what I'm saying? If you like and subscribe to all our channels, we will bring content that is tailor-made to you. And you got to worry about those pesky notifications. Don't be because. See, I was like, word.
I remember that line.
Don't be because. Listen, it's you don't have to worry about that at all. So please like and subscribe. And if you do, we'll shout you out on air. But I want you to Shout out to Johan Pena and Bosa, of course, Star Drew, AJ, everybody like that. But I appreciate you guys and thank you for being a part of the AfterBuzz family and
the ESPN of
TV Talk.
That too.
Yeah.
All right, so gonna do a little special segment. Last week we had Melissa. Oh yeah, you weren't here last week.
I watched it though.
I was like, what?
I watched it.
Oh yeah, you were being an actor. Okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to do my thing. I see your girl twerking on here though.
Oh yeah, we had Melissa twerking last week. So we gonna do a little dance break because we need a moment. So let's hit that beat. Playing his dislike for Beyonce.
It's not even a dislike. It's just we have a tumultuous relationship. We've been through some things.
Beyonce even worried about you.
She will one day. Because when this goes viral one day, she gonna the whole beehive.
Anyways. Tell us about your experience on Impact. So how did you get there?
Yeah.
So I was able to be at 2 of the tapings this week and do Sunday and Monday, which was a really awesome experience. I just I got reached out to by one of the people on creative, and they asked if I wanted to be a part of it, and I kind of came in and didn't know what really to expect, and it was a really, really good experience. I got to learn from some of the people there and I'm friends with most of the girls in the locker room, so it was easy to feel comfortable there. And the product they're putting out right now, especially for the women, they've always been good for their women. Like, especially like back in the day before like early 2000s, like mid 2000s, they were killing it with that.
Yes.
So it's a good spot to be, and I was really thankful and had a really good experience.
Yeah, I like that Allie storyline. I'm really a fan of it. Now you did say that Gail gave you some pointers, some tips. Is there anything that you can you want to let us know what she said?
I mean, the main thing was just to be aggressive. No matter what, you just have to like feel it and like be aggressive so that the people watching it can connect with you pretty
feel
much.
it through the television type thing.
Exactly.
Now, so you actually did WWE with Nia. Can you kind of explain the differences or the experiences between the two? The difference as far as experience?
I mean, when you do stuff with WWE, it's kind of a crapshoot of like, am I even doing anything? Am I just going to sit here and catering all day? And while that's also a really good experience just to sit and you can talk to everybody, like people will talk to you and give you advice, and it's a good environment to see how things move. But Impact was a little more I felt a little more like I was actually there being a part of their show. Yeah, so that was probably the biggest difference.
So I know Lita's a big influence on you. Like, when you first seen her? Like, I know because she was special. I believe she's one of the first trailblazers in like the modern era. You know what I mean? As far as just being different from everyone else.
Yeah, for sure. I started watching in 2001. So this was like right after the Attitude Era or the invasion and all of that. So Lita was like she was different. Like normally I should be like looking at ladies like Trish and be like, that's who I want to be like. But she was like rolling with the boys. She could hang with everybody, and she was a big part of it. She got a character. They had like main event segments that they were doing. I think that was really helpful. And she just always like had this air about her that made me want to like be like her. I used to do the moonsaults on the trampoline, and that's why I can kip up, because she used to do it. So I would practice and practice and practice until I could do it.
Kip up looks like the business.
Yeah, for real. Shout out to you, because I've been trying to do that my whole life and just can't get it. Yeah, even in the young Mac in the PJs, you know what I mean? Like way back in the day, you know what I mean? I've been trying to do it for like 20, 25 years and can't keep up. I just ain't built like that, TK Trinidad. What you want me to say? What you want me to say, girl? You finding out stuff about your boy today. I just played basketball. That's all I could do.
So you trained at Santino Bros.
Yeah,
a really great program. A lot of people come out of that program. What's your when you started wrestling? Like, what was the initial thought process? Like, so for instance, when I started, I got to college in the first day of college. They had us made us run like a 2 mile run.
I believe it.
And I literally looked at the heavens and I was like, Jesus, what? It's just.
That's so true.
I never ran 2 miles in my life, but if I do, it's all thanks to you. So what was like the first moment when you got into training?
So I made sure that I was prepared, because my friend David Barker, give you a shout out, his brother did a lot of wrestling, and so he was like, I know kind of like what you're gonna need to like work on to get there. So I would go train with him like 3 times a week, and he'd have me like just doing the sprints back and forth and stuff like that, where I was getting ready kind of for the actual how it would be in a ring. So then when I got there on the first day, we did they started us with 500 squats and just did workout all the first day. We didn't even touch the ring until the very end when they had us come in and they chopped us. And that was like first day. And I felt fine because I was prepared, and obviously I was dying, but I was like, I knew conditioned and like knew. So, I was just really excited by the end of it. And I felt like, okay, yeah, I should have started this a little sooner, but you know.
So how many weeks do you put into your craft, and how many weeks do you think a person should put into their craft if they want to be taken seriously as a wrestler?
Well, when you're actually in pro wrestling school, it differs for how they do the programs. Like there's some programs, like Lance Storm's school, he runs like a 3-month intensive course. Santino's is trying that kind of model now too, but they also have 3 days a week, or there's 1 day a week on Saturdays if that's easier for people. So I think the best is to be going at least the 3 days a week, because you can't really feel how it's going to feel if you're doing it once a week and you can feel not sore anymore, because it's like that as a wrestler, you just got to get used to that. So you have to be putting in like workout days at least like 5 times a week. You got to be in the ring at least once a week once you're actually past the training phase of it, just to keep yourself on track, I would say. Yeah.
So what's the thing that you want to is there anything that you want to work on as far as training that you haven't quite got to, or?
I think it kind of changes all the time when I'm there and I help with the classes, and I'm like, oh, that's something I need to go back to. Like I always like to work on my basics, because that's something that can get lost right away. So that's the thing I like to try and focus on.
And now, what are the goals as far as, I know you've put in work, so it's not like, oh, like you just lucked out, but you've done a lot compared to some other wrestlers who've started out. I believe you started in 2014.
Yeah.
So like you've done a lot. You've been putting in a lot of work, but you're also like, I've seen you on different promotions. So what's your goals now?
My main goal right now, because I'm really bad, because I'm really competitive. So like I have done all these things, especially recently, and I'm like, okay, that's cool, but like next. And I need to like kind of
like
maybe savor
Yeah.
that a little bit more. But I would really love to just make a living wrestling, and I don't care if that's in WWE or if I start being able to just fly all over the US. Like I would like to start being in more places than just kind of our little bubble over here in Las Vegas and stuff like that.
So do you have a day job, or?
Yes, still. Which that's kind of like, I'm like right here where I could like,
almost,
if wrestling would just pick up like that much.
You're like, I'm out. Peace.
Do you want to tell us what you do?
Oh, I work in finance. It's really boring.
Oh,
that's a nice
But
change
they're
of pace, though.
That's a different pace.
But they're so cool. Like they let me take as much time off. They know I'm a wrestler. They like, one of my coworkers came to a show.
Oh, nice.
So
Like
cool.
they're super supportive, and so it's never been a problem, and it's an easy job for me to do wrestling with, and they are like, go to China for a week. That's cool.
Awesome.
We'll see you. Have fun. Be safe. So,
I like
That's
it.
a good kind of job.
yeah.
So what's to date? What's your favorite wrestling moment that you've been a part of throughout your career?
Oh, that's really hard. I think just being in the Staples Center and like hearing people like
Your name.
know who I
That's
am
awesome.
was really cool. Especially at the level I was at then, even that was 2 years ago almost. So like that felt really good and I felt like, okay, I can handle this.
Like, so how was that? So like, it's happening, and even before like you even like get out there, like what was was there butterflies? Were you thinking like, what did I get myself into? Like I'm assuming you talked to Nia before you guys got out there. So what was the emotion?
Yeah, I was just super nervous, like so nervous, like waiting in the back, and then you go down with the ref because it's a squash match. So you go and you get in the ring with the ref, and then you kind of just wait there. And as I was walking down the ramp, I was still really nervous. But then once I got into the actual ring, I was like, okay, I can handle this.
Yeah.
Like, I was so nervous up to that point. But I think when you're in the ring and you're like, this is the same as like
Any other
ring, like the people are saying my name, I feel a little more at ease. Like while I was walking down the ramp, people were like, oh, hey. Oh.
You seen her before? So did you make any like connections with WWE, like anybody as far as either wrestlers or management that you still talk to?
Not really. You kind of just talk to people when you're there, but they have new people every city they go to, you know, like it's really like
It's a machine.
it's a machine,
Yeah.
a well-oiled machine. But
So, like, when you were younger, did you know what you wanted to be when you grew up?
I wanted to be a pro wrestler when I was
Did you
younger.
really? Absolutely.
And then my mom was like, absolutely not. So I was like, I'll be an actress then. So those have always been my goals.
That's amazing.
Yeah, my mom was like, absolutely not. You're not wrestling.
What was her biggest reason? Just you getting hurt?
I'm a girl.
Yeah, girl.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think inherently parents they just envision their kids
Of course,
like, you know.
every parent has like my dad, like he as much as he acts like he didn't want me to play football, like that's all he wanted me to play. He just never said it. You know what I mean? Like we finally got to that age where, like, you know, when your parents are your parents, my dad said, I ain't gonna be your friend till you 21 years old, you know, I'm your dad, you know what I mean?
Okay.
And I understood what he was saying, because when he first had that beer, he was like, man, I wish, yeah, our first beer together, he was like, man, I wish you'd play football. Like, it just all,
Damn,
I was like,
now that we're here.
I know. But like, how are you gonna do that to your son? It's like,
I
it's not like
know.
you can go and play football
I was
now.
like, Daddy, man, come on, man. Yeah, I know. It's one of those
Damn.
things
You
where, like, I know what she's saying. Like, you're right. They have this vision of what they want you to do.
Yeah.
Regardless of what it is, though. Parents like, I want TK to do this.
Yeah, my parents have always been super supportive of like me wanting to be an actress. I think my mom was just like, that's a tough sport for a girl to do.
Right.
And now she freaking loves
course.
it. She's like, at any show that I can do that she's by, she's like, my Heather, yay! She was me for Halloween. Is like,
Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
that's cute.
You have to show us
You
some
gotta see
pictures.
that.
I will.
That's
She's
adorable.
hilarious.
I mean, and that's why I tell everybody who like just like scoffs at it, it's like, oh well, it's, you know, it's fake, it's this. I'm like, you have to see a live show to fully understand
so
that.
true.
You know, not only are these folks jumping off of, you know, the top rope and they're doing all these crazy stuff, they're also doing it and making sure that the person they're going up against,
Correct,
it remains uninjured. You know, except for last week. But it's just,
It
That-
happens.
I know.
but that's funny what you say. Like, I always, anybody that ever says that to me, I go, guys, I want you to spend like one day training in one of those dojos. If you think wrestling's fake, just give me one day in there.
That's the thing. People that love pro wrestling, that have watched it for years, that want to be so bad, don't even understand
Yeah.
Just don't.
how hard it is. And then you get people there, and they're like, "Holy crap!" And that's why Santino started doing a one-day tryout, even because they were like,
They know.
"Come see if you can handle it," because it's important. Like, we don't want to take all your money if you
Right.
can't. Like,
This
come
is
live your dream for a day, and then see if it's something you can actually do.
I just want to spare a person just once. That's all I want to do. Preferably a hot guy, but that's all I want just once.
we got to make that work.
I mean, that's
Somebody
and
in
I'm
the booth
good.
bar.
Like, you know, it is what it is.
Who's is anybody that you like to watch at the moment? Like your favorite wrestler to watch at the moment?
Oh man, that's so hard. Tessa's always great to watch.
I hear her a lot. Her name.
Yeah,
I really like
I
her.
mean, she's got it all right now. She's really good with that.
How is she behind the scenes?
I like Tessa.
Is she like
Acquired taste?
I mean,
No, she's always been really cool to me.
Yeah.
I've never
Awesome.
had an issue with her.
she seems like she could be a sweetheart,
Yeah.
but she plays that very like don't talk to me role in everything that I see her. Not necessarily the same character, but it's just kind of like
Plays it so well.
yeah, I really question. She does it so well that I really question like what she's like in person.
That's
like
good, though. She's a good
yeah,
character.
she's doing really. That's what I was just wondering.
yeah.
So you said Tessa. Anybody else that you?
I really love watching Chelsea Green. I think
she's
like back in the day, I used to watch a lot of like Sarah Del Rey and
Uh-huh.
like Kimberly. I always have been a big fan of. I've always just been a women's wrestling fan, to be
Yeah.
honest. Like, I obviously watch stuff with guys, but I focus more on
That's awesome.
on that
Yeah,
kind of
stuff
stuff.
that you can like relate to as
Yeah,
well.
exactly.
Now, as far do you get a chance to watch a lot of wrestling? Like, given the fact that you,
Do a lot of wrestling.
yeah.
I try to, but I mostly end up just watching clips and GIFs. If I get the chance to sit down and watch like a full match, or if someone is like, you have to watch this match, it's really
Yeah.
great, I'll watch it. Like, I just, like the Tessa and Taya match from the pay-per-view, I watched that.
That was a
Crazy.
good
Yeah,
match.
and obviously this past weekend I got to watch pretty much every match, so that was like the first time I've actually in a long time sat down and watched and not been at the show or something like that. Because I guess I do watch, like when I'm done with my matches at shows, like I'll sit and I'll watch some of the matches.
So, is there any current wrestler that you like you see their stuff and it's almost like you're studying them, not necessarily to be like them, but it's like they're at a certain level that you aim to be? Like, do you like watch like pointers or anything like that?
I mean, I think I like to watch most people and see their movements and be like, oh, is this something that could work for me? Or is this like, oh, maybe I should do something more like that? Like, how should I punch or kick? Or like, how can I make myself better based off of something that I've seen?
Do you have a favorite Lita match?
Okay, so
Let me preface this.
it's a triple. I don't know which WrestleMania it was at, but it was the triple threat between Jazz, Trish, and Lita. Was it Jazz or was
That
it?
was probably
Yeah.
That was probably ridiculous.
Yeah, and like I just remember Jazz was such a good like
She's
foil for them,
unbelievable.
and so oh God, now I'm thinking it might have been Victoria. It was the one where Trish wore her Canadian shorts.
Trust me, somebody in this chat will know. Like,
But that's the one that I'm always like, oh man, I go back and watch that match and I'm like, this was my childhood.
that's awesome that you know the one.
Oh my gosh. And Bo says the GM's not, he's busy. He's not in the
Oh,
chat.
trust me, he'd be like, it was 19, blah blah blah.
I know.
Yeah.
Our live chat sometimes is popping where it's just like we'll just throw out a question and
Yeah,
like,
it'll be like,
they're
what
on it.
was I
The
wearing
answer.
like 5 years ago in China? They'd be like, Evan was wearing a red pants and a blah blah blah.
I mean, that's kind of
my
scary.
They know everything. No, it's impressive. I'm very impressed.
Now with the women's revolution or evolution, I mean, we had a lot of people in Impact pretty much say it's been around. Where, barring all of that, where would you want to see women's wrestling go, or like where do you hope it will be?
I mean, I think this week was a really good example of how women's wrestling can be on the same level as men's. No one's talking about anything that happened with the guys this week.
Yeah, I think they've legitimately overtook. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Essentially, it's like when
Took over.
Took over. Thank you. Like when Serena started tennis, like nobody knows anybody. Do you know who?
Nobody
Yeah,
cares.
no.
When Serena, no one cares. They just
So
don't.
it's just kind of one of those things when you think of wrestling, like and there's so many people. Like I think Tessa did a Sports Illustrated, and of course we have Charlotte Flair. Becky's making the comeback. Ronda. Like there's just so many names, whereas the guys are just like, eh.
Yeah, and it's like I said, it's long overdue though. You know, this is chickens coming home to roost, so to speak. Like men, if you know. Like we put things in place since the beginning of time to keep you guys back, like literally since the beginning of time. So like if y'all are starting to get some shine right now, I think we'll be all right. So
Some people are not appreciating it.
we'll hang in
The
there.
ultimate thing that I want to see is it not being, oh, this is the first time in history, or
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh, it's so special because we are letting the women do something that the men have always been able to do.
Absolutely.
I want it to get past that and be like, okay, this is just normal now.
Yeah.
That's the next step, though. Because
Yeah.
that's all it is. Like the first woman to ever,
Yeah.
blah 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 blah. It's gonna get to that point where it's
Is
just
it?
Like, do it without it having to be
A first.
a first time.
I hope that gets to the point. Like, speaking of that, though, like, do you ever see? I think it'll happen. It'll be. I don't know when though. Do you see like two women like main event in WrestleMania? Like literally
yeah.
last match.
I think right now they could
WrestleMania.
do it with Becky and Ronda.
The
like-
end to end the show.
Yeah.
I think so.
Oh yeah, for sure. If they figure out that storyline
Yeah.
and can keep it up to WrestleMania, that's definitely
Unbelievable.
yeah. It would. I mean, that was what I was looking forward to. I can't even think of. I mean,
Something that you care enough
that
about.
I care enough. Like, I mean, I do remember like the Usos promo, but it's like I would only care about certain matches. Like, oh, because like I just like those people. But as far as like care, like I have to watch it. Other than that, I mean, I'm sure Ronda and Charlotte's gonna be good, but
Yeah.
the leading up to like I definitely want to see what they were gonna do with Becky and
would love it.
Ronda. But you know, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
So now as far as goals. Like near future, are you wanting to travel more, or all that good stuff?
Yeah, mainly just travel more and kind of get my name out there a little bit more than just in the kind of SoCal region. So I want to be out everywhere doing everything.
And now, is there any type of match that you want to do that you haven't done? Like a
I mean, there's plenty of matches that I haven't done. I've only ever done one like non-regular match, and it's been a last woman standing match.
Dope.
But I'm down for whatever. I really want to expand my horizons and be places, and I don't have anything specific in mind.
So here's the deal, though. This is how the show goes. We're like a 3 for 3 as far as people put what they want out there.
Oh, okay.
And it happens.
100%.
So, I mean, if you have something in mind that you're like, whatever, you say it on the show, and then there's a possibility. So I'm just.
Yeah, I mean, and I guess the main thing I want to do is be on the East Coast more often.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, that's doable.
Let's do it. I think we can swing that.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks, guys.
Show us.
we have no power. Now, is there anybody that you want to have matches with, as far as like maybe a top 5?
And even like male or female though.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I mean, like I said, Kimberly is someone that I've always watched, and I would love to get the chance to wrestle her.
Lita.
Lita,
I mean,
she's still, you know.
I mean, yeah, Lita. I would love. Now I'm just thinking of all the people in WWE. I would love to wrestle Deanna.
Oh, happy dope.
She's amazing.
He's good.
I mean, now I'm like Trish, Victoria. Like after meeting Gail Kim, I would love to if she would just pop out of retirement and wrestle me. That'd be great.
Just like at least a moment. Now, one thing that Impact is known for doing, obviously Lucha and some other promotions, intergender matches. And you said that you're like a fan of that. What do you like about the intergender matches? And, why do you think maybe WWE is like holding off on actually doing that?
They're holding off because of network, I think, for sure. Because they used to do it all the time.
Okay.
Like it used to not be a problem there. They would have the women
That's true.
and men. Like Lita was she was taking spears on the floor from people. Like, so I think it's all network stuff. It's the same with like TV that I've done. It's just the network doesn't like it. But I think intergender wrestling is the future because it's kind of the meeting of like women being treated equally. And
Absolutely.
I love intergender wrestling. I was the only girl in my wrestling training after, like, there was 4 girls that started, and then I was the only one after a few weeks, and it just kind of got ingrained in my head. All the dudes are like, you're the same as me.
Right.
Like, most guys in wrestling that are coming up now are down with
It's a different
wrestling.
type of thing because they're getting brought up in this new society,
Right.
which is to me the way it's supposed to be. You know what I mean? They're just being taught the right way.
Yeah.
It's not this taboo thing that women are equal to men thing. That's not it's not foreign territory like it used to be.
I mean, if you outlast 3 other girls, then
What you gonna say? What's a guy
I
gonna say?
outlasted a lot of dudes too. That's the thing.
That I
I started
believe.
with 28. There was only 2 of us at the end.
Oh, wow.
Oh, I didn't
okay.
know that.
That's
Damn.
pretty typical for wrestling too.
I did not
because it's
know
hard. Yeah. But I think I would love to do more intergender wrestling too. I think a lot of places don't think about it, and so you just end up wrestling the same girls over and over and over.
That's what Ruby was
again.
saying.
Yeah, so that's why, and she's been able to like gain kind of a reputation of doing intergender wrestling, and Tessa started gaining a reputation for that, and it's like that's when people start taking you more seriously too. I think because patriarchy, and so I would love to do more of that because I did have so much influence of that in my starting in wrestling.
Right.
And Santino's will, oh yeah, whatever. We don't have someone for you to wrestle. Here's a dude to wrestle. They don't care.
That's how they do it.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna get into some rapid hot tags. So
with you,
DJ Tony.
DJ Tony
Women's Wrestling Rapid Hot Tags.
So here we go. So always early or always late.
Always late.
Finally, someone said that. We get so many people on here saying they always early. Like, you lying.
I'm like, how long does it take me to get there? Okay, I'll leave at the exact time I need to leave there and not give myself any time.
I'm
for
sorry I'm
anything
ruining the
that'll happen.
rapid part, but I'm so excited she said that. She's like, I'm late.
Last person you text.
Oh, I don't even remember.
Okay.
Oh, my.
Guess they weren't that important.
They sure weren't.
What was the one thing you love? What's the one thing that you love about yourself?
My confidence.
Dream dinner guest.
Marilyn Monroe.
Ooh. Who would play you in a movie?
Kate Hudson.
Oh, that's good.
Last show you binge watched.
Oh shoot, what was it called? I'm so bad at this.
Netflix show?
I've been rewatching 30 Rock.
Okay.
Hilarious.
If you were a crayon, what color would you be?
Pink.
Favorite junk food?
Cheetos.
If you were to listen to one song for the rest of your life, what song would it be?
Probably Feeling Myself. Beyonce.
It's a good song.
Sorry.
That song's fire. That song is fire. It is.
I was like, feelers? Oh, no, yes. Okay. If you were on death row, what would be your last meal?
Pizza.
Boom. See?
Yeah.
See, she knows how. That's how you do rabbit hot tags.
Now I'm like, who did I text last?
That's a shame. Shout out to the person you text last. You are not.
I talk to more people on like Instagram and Twitter because I don't know why it's a wrestler thing, but I don't have like anybody's numbers. But we still talk to everybody all the time.
Oh yeah, it's a fact. I was telling somebody like who's booking guests for their shows. She's like, "Oh, they're not responding to me." I'm like, "Yo, you have to hit everybody on all platforms
Everything.
because
Twitter,
some people,
Instagram, Facebook.
yeah, because some people are text people, some people are email people, some people they just respond to DMs, but they might just respond to Twitter DMs. Like there's one person that I was booking, like I'd send her an email, didn't respond. Not necessarily didn't, like we knew the interview was coming up. Send her a text, didn't respond. I hear him DM, I was like, "Oh yeah, I got you." Like
all right.
So that's how this is what we're.
Yeah, it's probably my mom.
Oh. Shout out to
Sorry,
mommy.
Mom.
Shout out to mommy.
So I just had to let you know that you have officially become a friend of the show.
Yes.
So
Friend of the show.
got a little.
It's a very coveted position. That's new voiceover and everything.
Oh yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
I miss brother missed 1 week.
And with that comes like whenever you do matches, we pull you. Let us know where you're gonna be. We put it up there. We tag it. You are officially a friend of the show. We have the hashtag for you. It's a thing.
Oh, okay.
It's a whole thing.
It's a very exclusive group.
Yeah, this is my roundabout way of when you get really, really big, I just get free tickets to everything.
And then you guys don't have to wait in line.
Yeah. See, it's all coming full circle. You see, she knows the deal. We don't do the lines, man.
We don't
Me
do
and
the
TK
lines
don't do that.
at all. But I find though, even coming from like if you watch our first season, it was a little rough because it's first season. But like people who are associated with Gail or especially Taya, it's like 2 degrees of separation. Everybody who I've brought on the show is amazing.
Yeah,
you're in good
lovely.
company. And then also fun fact, if you guys didn't watch last week's episode with Melissa Santos, she said that Taya actually introduced her and Brian. Wow. So
there you go.
So
pretty awesome, actually.
Taya's magic.
I'm waiting, Taya.
Girl, hook it up.
Hook it up. I know, right? So we hit that star of the week real quick.
DJ Tony Tone. Yeah.
Wrestling Star of the Week.
Our women's wrestling star of the week, WWE analyst and WWE Hall of Famer Amy Dumas, aka Lita. That's your girl. Now we can't run through every amazing thing that Lita did for wrestling, but we will give you some highlights. Dumas got her start in wrestling in 1998 in Mexico and financed her training by dancing in a club under the name Misty. After returning to the United States, Dumas worked in Maryland Championship Wrestling under the ring name Angelica, at one point managing Christopher Daniels. In 1999, Dumas debuted in ECW as Miss Congeniality and then signed with WWF/WWE. Throughout her career, she won the WWE Women's Championship 4 times and held the Women's Championship at one point for enough alongside Booker T and Billy Gunn. In 2016, Dumas was a creative writer and backstage producer for the WWE on a full-time basis. She's something special, by the way.
Yeah.
Let me just throw that out. She's one of my favorites, too. At WrestleMania 32 pre-show, Lita unveiled the new WWE Women's Championship belt in addition to announcing the retirement of WWE Divas Championship. Lita was also color commentator for the Mae Young Classic alongside Jim Ross. Earlier this year at Royal Rumble, Lita made a surprise entrance at number 5 at Royal Rumble and eliminated Mandy Rose and Tamina before being eliminated by Becky Lynch. Just recently, WWE announced that Lita and Trish Stratus teamed up to defeat Mickie James and Alicia Fox at WWE Evolution. WWE mentions Lita as a diva who always kept the WWE Universe on their toes. Whether she was flying high with the Hardy Boys or shocking censors alongside Edge, the 4-time women's champion knew how to elicit a reaction around the world. After Lita retired from wrestling in 2006, she formed the punk rock band, the Lucha Goers. The band released their self-titled debut album on September 11, 2007. Man. Lita, man.
I try to keep it short, but you can't keep it short.
Lita's fire,
She's
man.
done so much.
And there is even more that,
Man, listen, man. I just never forget that I was in Hershey. It was and that's when they did like the Rated R show. It was actually in PA, my home state. And this is when they did like the whole. You don't know if you remember. They did like they put the bed in the middle of the ring.
sex show.
Yes, it was unbelievable. I was like, they are not doing this.
Yeah.
And like crowd was just going. I never forget that moment of how the crowd reacted. She always brought a reaction no matter what she did. And even when they were pushing the envelope, then it was. Was something special.
it's crazy. But yes, if we do have, or you guys have suggestions on Star of the Week, hit us up on social media. We're definitely open to suggestions. We had a poll last week. Who do you have, Becky Lynch or Seth Rollins? Seth Rollins obviously got 20% because why are you watching this show? Back in Seth. Becky like 80%. Just gonna, it is what it is. But this week's poll was Survivor Series around the corner, literally days away. Who do you have, Ronda or Charlotte Flair?
That's a good question. Who you got?
Who do you have?
Rhonda.
Do you have Ronda because you think it's a
Based
push from
on-
mainstream
yeah.
media, or do you have Ronda because you think Ronda?
I think they're not going to let Ronda lose for a while.
Yeah, that's
That's why we always talk about they gave it to her too early.
Yeah.
The intrigue's gone. You gave her to
Yeah.
it too early.
yeah. I'm not.
Oh, they should have had more time her climbing the brass ring, brother.
But storyline wise, I think it makes sense because if Charlotte loses, then you can still continue
It
the
isn't
feud between
champion
Becky
versus champion
Yeah.
either, so it doesn't make SmackDown's championship look any less.
right.
That's true.
Especially
then-
since Becky's beat Charlotte.
Right,
Touche.
and then Becky could get on Charlotte for like, oh, I appointed you to beat Ronda, and
And
you
you
couldn't even
couldn't
do
get
that.
it.
So that's gonna continue with
I'm
the
with you,
storyline. So
that's-
that makes sense, but still, like, ugh.
Well said.
Yeah, it is what it is. Oh, Evan Close is
Yeah,
so,
yeah,
I
yeah.
guess
It's right.
I guess
Listen, I don't want
time to go.
I don't want Tony shutting me down.
Tony's getting ready for that button. So where can everybody find you?
I'm Heather is me on Instagram and Twitter, and on Facebook as Heather Monroe.
And then you have some events coming up.
Yes, on Friday at FSW, it's the first ever women's main event.
Dope.
Me versus Taya for the FSW Women's Championship.
So cool.
So I'm going to get my title back because she beat me for it.
Ooh.
But
words.
I'm going to win.
Okay.
And then the Bays are back at Bar Wrestling on the 28th.
Nice.
And that's going to be at the Bootleg Theater in Echo Park.
That's
Okay.
close by.
I always try to go to the LA one, and I
Don't.
no. I need to, but we always send Leslie. Shout out to Leslie for doing our social
For
media.
real. She
because-
be getting it in over there. Shoot.
well, you know, because
Shout out to Leslie.
I get the tickets for.
I
every
met
time.
her, right? Did I meet her that one time? I met her.
Tony, where can everybody find you? Tony.
Hello.
Okay.
Can you hear me in there?
Yes.
All right. So checking my levels.
Tony Town.
Yo, what's up?
We always like to we catch you off guard, like you doing something you're not supposed to be
And
doing.
he's the one that runs his whole show.
my hands are somewhere. Never mind.
Oh,
I'm not gonna say
boy.
that.
Oh, okay, hold on. Where's your
Anyways,
hands at?
you can
Where's your
find
hands?
me anywhere. Well, really just Twitter and Instagram. At Tony B Tony _ TONY, the letter B TONY _. Also, if you're a horror fan out there, I'm
Yeah.
sure a lot of wrestling
Going all
fans
in from-
are. Yes, I mean you're gonna give me the platform to do it. I'll do it. So, horror movie news on the Popcorn Talk Network every Tuesday at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Thank you so much. You had a great show.
They have amazing guests on there too. Please tune into that show. They got like amazing.
on the show too,
I
aren't you?
pop in every now and
Yeah,
again.
he helps me with the interviews. Thank you so much, Mac.
You're welcome, brother.
Well, then I guess you're a wanted man.
I'm just saying, I just pop in.
Where
girl.
can they find you? Oh, actually, too. Yesterday when I was on the show, kept calling you Coco Cena. That I really forgot your real name. I'm like Coco Cena. So where can they find you?
Yo, shout out to the GOAT John Cena, man. Coco Cena here. yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, see, it just happens, man. Soundboard. Evan T. Mac, Instagram, and Twitter. Everyone has a nice Thanksgiving. Have a nice Canadian Thanksgiving. So I don't know why y'all
sorry to
celebrate.
pass.
I don't know why y'all celebrate that, but yeah, I mean, stop stealing holidays from Americans. Find your own stuff.
Canadian Thanksgiving is in October. It's before America.
But
Why?
this is you see?
That's broken. That's backward.
You see what I'm saying? We don't even appreciate this before ours. Go ahead, Al. Put yourself over. Shout out to Canada.
You can definitely subscribe to our YouTube channel, AfterBuzz Wrestling and Sports. Give us a thumbs up. Definitely make those comments. Go on iTunes, comment on that as well. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram, WPW Weekly.
Yes.
We also have a Facebook page. We just put stuff there. Definitely shout out to Leslie for doing our social
you
media.
so much.
You can follow me on everything at TK Trinidad. I know y'all been harassing me because I put it out there, but I didn't get the call. I haven't signed the contract yet, so I can't really say what's happening.
You can't
but
just put your business in the streets,
Yeah,
and then
'cause-
when people ask you,
Yeah, because I know, but I thought, the company's so big, they have to go through several lawyers. So once it's done, then, you'll get the announcement. But thank you guys for checking in with me because people were like, what's up? What up?
Because you built this, you built it up.
I'm sorry.
Very mysterious.
I'm sorry.
She's like, I'm doing something. I
Better
can't
pay
tell
off,
you what I'm doing.
TK.
It will. Trust me. International television. Other than that,
She got
we
it.
appreciate you guys for tuning in with us, rocking with us, season 2.
Appreciate y'all.
We're gonna end it off amazingly. And really excited about season 3, but we're not done yet because we're still in the midst of
Yeah.
it. Other than that, thank you so much.
Thank
Heather.
you for
Thank you.
having me.
We will see you guys next week. Ciao.
Go on, Pena.
Producers Kevin Undergaro, Maria Menounos, Phil Svitek, producer TK Trinidad, and me, Mark Donica, your voice of AfterBuzz TV Wrestling. We ask you to rate and comment on iTunes, subscribe to AfterBuzz Wrestling on YouTube, and find us on all social media. Thank you for watching Women's Pro Wrestling Weekly. See you next week.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.